where's Justin Fields at in your mind as in the list of all-time great quarterbacks at Ohio State? Before we talk anywhere else, go anywhere else. Is he top 5?
Top three. Three.
Top 3? Really?
Oh, he's definitely top 5.
He's
I
top
think top 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's top 5.
Yeah.
You're breaking up
I
on me
really do.
really bad, Chris, actually. It's either
Given the
you or
amount
me,
of
one.
time given the amount of time he played.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
if Chris, you might need to jump out and jump back in.
Hold
I
on a
think
second. Yeah.
we're getting
Am
a
I back?
delay on your part. No, you're there's a delay. There's a bad delay on your part. Um, so we're getting some of you guys chiming
Gotcha.
in. Jar of Happiness says Fields is top 4. Bobby McCormick top 2 or 3 for him. Wow. Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty high.
I'm with Bobby. I mean, I'm thinking top 3. I mean, given the fact that he only really had 2 years, what he accomplished in those 2 years, especially given the fact that one of them was a, shortened season, I really believe that he maximized his time at Ohio State. And I truly feel that what he accomplished, now granted, he didn't win a natty, and that disgusts me to this day. But you know what? I really believe talent wise, and though the numbers, I mean, if you look at numbers wise, are you going to tell me that JT Barrett was the best quarterback that Ohio State ever had?
You know my opinion on that.
The numbers aren't going to, the numbers would tell you that, but,
It's
we
just
know that's not the
longevity.
fact. That's right. That's right. So I tend to look at the sample size and what you accomplished during that sample size. And I truly believe that given his talent, he was one of the top 3. But to what you were saying, no worse than top 5.
Chris Smith top 5. Brian Oberst top 5 to 6. Frank coming in strong. He says talent wise top 2. I'm going to make a guess, Frank, that number 1 for you is Stroud. If you're saying you're going to use the criteria talent wise, I'm guessing Stroud 1 and Justin Fields 2. And then, Frank, my follow up question to you is where's Kyle McCord on that?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're talking
Sorry.
talent wise, I think you've got to look at really, and I've never questioned the ability of his quarterbacks up until Kyle McCord. But I mean, I think C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, and if you're looking strictly on talent wise, uh, uh, Dwayne Haskins is
Ooh.
definitely in there talent wise.
Hold on. If we're going to talk talent,
But I
you
mean,
got
you
to
got to throw
mention
Troy
Terrell.
Smith in there.
You got to mention Terrell Pryor too.
You do, and I totally despise him.
I
Not,
know.
I don't despise. Not, let me clarify. I don't despise Terrell Pryor. I despise what he did to the program.
Chris Smith. Honda McCord is on the Bowserman used car lot. Jeez.
Don't insult Bowserman that way.
Oh my gosh. Stroud is my number 1 last 10 years. Oh yeah. But how much of that is because of what he did this year in the NFL? There is some recency bias caked into how you view Ohio State quarterbacks based off of what they have done in the NFL. True or false?
Oh, there has to be. I mean,
Okay.
you can't ignore that. But you know
Right?
what? At the same time, as much as we got frustrated with the fact that he wouldn't use his feet, I don't think you can question the arm talent that C.J. Stroud ever
No
had.
one does. No one does. But did you have on your bingo sheet that he was going to break NFL rookie records with the Texans?
I definitely did not, Eric. In fact, I dropped him from my fantasy team about 3 weeks into the season,
Ouch. The fact that you
and
admitted that right now.
I got him in the 18th round as a keeper, and I dropped him because I didn't see it.
Okay, hey, jar of happiness. None. NFL is another level. What he did at Ohio State, numbers and accuracy wise, was enough for me. TTUN losses aside, and see that's the thing. To me,
I don't
it's
think you can put those losses aside,
I don't
though.
think you can because I look at it and say, in my lifetime, There's been one quarterback at Ohio State win the Heisman Trophy, and that's Troy Smith. I also, crazy as it is, how do you not consider Craig Krenzel and what they did in 2002? Now, I understand there's no comparison between him and what CJ Stroud can do with the football and arm strength and reading defenses and pinpoint accuracy. But you
But Krenzel's a
cannot sit
winner.
here and
There's
tell
no
me
doubt in that.
that Craig Krenzel didn't have the heart of a freaking lion, man. So
Oh, he did without a doubt. And you know, Derek's got a question about Cardale Jones out there, and yeah, Cardale, he's a talented kid. You know what? Cardale got hosed by Urban Meyer. Let's call that what that was. He tried to fit a square peg into a round hole, and that killed Cardale.
in no particular order for Donald Hoffer, Justin Fields, Terrell Pryor, Troy Smith, Rex Kern. Well, you're going way back there, Donald. Good for you, buddy. CJ would be up in the top 5 if got one win against if he got one win against TTUN. So see, he's taking that and putting that into the sauce as well.
Okay, but I'm going to go and I'm going to throw this at you. You can't sit here and defend Ryan Day for his losses to Michigan because of cheating if you don't give that same consideration to CJ Stroud.
Under,
In fact, I would
absolutely.
also almost say it applies more to CJ Stroud than it does to Ryan Day because he's the one who was out there on the field and the other team had the playbook.
Don't forget about Art. The Delaware County Sheriff sure hasn't. Uh, as talented as CJ was, 0-2 against TTUN, Derek. See, this is the debate. And I didn't bring this up to create the debate, but I brought this up to talk about the fact that when we look at the totality of Ohio State quarterbacks and you begin to rank them and you begin to talk about the success they've had, there's a couple things that everybody mentions. The record against TTUN, uh, any awards they won, their overall record, right? Any individual records, and what they did in the NFL. And for the longest time, those stinking fans from Ann Arbor loved to throw it in our face, Chris, that we had never developed an NFL quarterback like
They
they
didn't
had
either. Bill Belichick developed Tom Brady.
until Tom Brady showed up. They had none either. Okay, but my point is this: Justin Fields, after 3 years in the NFL, has been traded from Chicago. Thank you, Lord, because that place. Good luck, Williams.
That's where
Good luck,
quarterbacks go
Caleb
to
Williams
die.
going there. Yeah, good luck. We'll see if he pulls some kind of Eli Manning and tries to get out of going there. Um, was traded to Pittsburgh after Pittsburgh had previously traded for Russell Wilson. So it appears that Pittsburgh has hedged their bets, and if Russell Wilson comes into Pittsburgh and falls flat on his face, which I think he will, they've got a backup now in Justin Fields to become the possible starter for the Steelers. You hate the Steelers, Chris.
I
You
do
are
hate
a
the
Browns
Steelers.
fan. I don't hate the Steelers, but I'm a Bengals fan. We see them twice a year. Can I be honest with you? I'm kind of rooting for Justin Fields to succeed in Pittsburgh.
Well, you know, this is my thing, Eric. I don't disagree with the fact that, you know, first of all, I don't disagree that Chicago is a train wreck. As a Browns fan, I hate the fact that he went to Pittsburgh. As an Ohio State fan and as a Justin Fields fan, I love this move for Justin, and I'll tell you
It's
why.
it's a good landing spot for him, brother.
It is a good landing spot. You have a solid running game. You've got a coach who somehow every year gets at least 9 wins. Every year. You know, you've got a quality defense. You have yourself going in competing with Russell Wilson for this job. And this is the scenario for me. Yes, you're right. If Russ falls flat on his face, Field steps in, he gets the starting job. But here's another way to look at it. If Fields, or I'm sorry, if Russell Wilson doesn't fall flat on his face, if he goes in and he has a good season and gets the number one job, and Fields takes a year to just step back and watch and be the backup. Russell Wilson is 35, going to be 36 years old this season. He's going to go out there. If he has a great season, he is going to demand max contract money. Short of winning the Super Bowl this year with him, is Pittsburgh really going to give max contract money to a 36-year-old quarterback who depends on his athleticism? I can't see it. So I think Fields, even if he doesn't get it this year, is the starter next year. I think that it's a good move because they also know that they're not going to have to change their offensive scheme. Now, Fields is younger, he's faster than Wilson, but skill set wise, a young Russell Wilson and a young Justin Fields, as far as what they're capable of doing on the field, isn't that far apart, though I think Fields is more athletic. So to me, I just feel like this is a no lose situation for Fields. And as much as I say I'm so irritated at the fact that they got him for what, a sixth round pick next year? How the Browns didn't step in there and give up a fifth round pick just to throw their body in front of this happening, I have no idea. Especially when you got, King Pervert up there playing quarterback. Uh, it just irritates me to my soul. You've got a quarterback who's missed more games than he's played since you signed him this enormous contract. And here you go. You've got a guy on a rookie contract. You could give up a fifth round pick to get him, and you could have had him. But, they let him go instead to the Steelers. Great for Justin, bad for the NFC North or AFC North. That's all there is to it.
Uh, if this is all we're ever going to see from Justin Fields is what we've just saw, and he's going to become a perennial NFL backup quarterback from this
He
point
won't.
forward. If it is,
Mhm.
was this I guess what I'm saying is, how does that change your perspective of Justin Fields as a former Ohio State quarterback in the
It doesn't.
pantheon of ranking him?
It doesn't. Because I'll tell you what, no matter what he does at the NFL level, uh, he still exemplified greatness at Ohio State. You know, I think that, and I mean, I think he'll forever be known for a lot of things, but to me, that hit he took against Clemson, and then he
Oh
gets
gosh,
up,
yeah.
and what's the first thing he does?
Throw a touchdown pass
Goes
to
out
my
there and throws a
boy
touchdown
Chris
pass.
Olave, my sixth grade suede dress shirt. Yeah,
You
the
know,
dance shirt known as Chris Olave.
he's he is just a tough, smart,
Oh
gifted
man,
football
that was
player,
the
and nothing
moment.
will ever change that.
That was the moment. And he did it against Team Up North too, man. Got hurt, came right back in, threw the touchdown pass, corner of the end
Yeah,
zone to Garrett Wilson.
yeah, he's not
Um,
a pansy like they got up there in Cleveland. Freaking Deshaun
yeah,
Watson.
DB Collins, Justin Fields is one of the toughest players in football. It sure feels that way. Patterson, Justin Fields, most talented QB to come through Columbus. I still think if you're going to look at talent alone, Terrell Pryor might have been better. Just straight talent. Um, and no one mentioned Braxton Miller that I can remember reading through these comments. No
No,
one mentioned Braxton Miller. And I think it's because Braxton Miller's arm wasn't, well, we know by the end of his collegiate career, he didn't have an arm left, but
no.
Braxton Miller might have been the most,
Athletically, yeah.
yeah, Michael Vick like quarterback I've ever watched in person. I never had the
He
opportunity to
was
watch
a
Michael Vick in
he was a
person.
human joystick, man. I
Oh,
mean, it was
I still, from time to time, dream about the spin move in Blacksburg,
yeah,
Virginia,
and yeah,
against Virginia Tech to open the season. You want to talk about setting an impossible standard in a game? Is when he did that, you thought that was the way it was going to be the rest of the year, and it
yes.
never came to fruition. Um, uh, Bobby McCormick, Pryor's accuracy was iffy at times. Yes,
What
but there were
drove me
also
crazy about Pryor, though, Eric, was just the way he lobbed the ball up, just lofted up there. And it seemed like it hung up there forever. And somehow he completed a lot of them, but it just seemed like it hung up there forever, like you're just waiting for another team to come in and pick it off.
yeah. Yeah, the Hail Mary, Jar Happiness Miller to Smith. He corrects
Yeah.
himself for the next comment. Smith in Wisconsin game, his best pass. Yeah, that Hail Mary, that was awesome. I was jumping up and down when that game. That was a great memory. Anyways, Chris, so Justin Fields is going to be wearing the black and gold, man, and I tell you,
Aaron
that's
right now is somewhere celebrating.
oh yeah. I was hoping Aaron could get on the show tonight. It's probably going to be another week before we see him. Sounds like, but Aaron is probably extremely happy about this as being a Pittsburgh fan, and as we've seen, a couple of you in the chat are as well. So that's fantastic.